Let's face it, Charlotte has changed, and not in the way that people online usually describe it. A lot of what gets repeated about living here is based on how the city used to be, not how it actually functions today. So, in this video, I'm walking you through 7 things that once defined Charlotte, but don't really hold up anymore. Number 1, traffic isn't that bad. Not true. There was a time when everybody knew a shortcut. A side road, a backup route that magically saved you 10 minutes. That's not how it works anymore. Charlotte has become much denser, and the road infrastructure is not keeping pace. In fact, it's way behind. Certain times of day, and especially around the holidays, it feels like the entire city is moving all at once, and we're all going to the same place. You're going somewhere, but so is everybody else. And no, it's not Los Angeles or New York yet, but the writing is on the wall. That idea that you can get anywhere in 20 minutes, that was true years ago, and it's not something you can count on now. And once the congestion increases, affordability usually changes too. Number 2, Charlotte is still affordable. Not anymore. There's still this assumption that Charlotte equals low cost across the board, and that really only applies if you're talking about comparisons, not the reality inside the city. So home prices have increased far more than people expect. New townhomes might be advertised as starting in the 400s, but once the upgrades are factored in, you're very quickly approaching $500,000. So if you're aiming for walkability, dining, and entertainment, a more urban lifestyle, that's going to come with a very real price and possibly an interesting neighborhood. So daily expenses are still lower than most major metros, but they don't really feel especially light on your wallet. And so if you're living in Mecklenburg County, they just recently approved a 1% transit tax on non-essential goods. And I want you guys to lean in very close. That basically means everything. So while individually it might sound really small, collectively it is going to add up to the overall cost of living. And when prices shift like that, the housing market follows. So number 3, the housing market is calm and predictable. Not true. First, I don't know who lied to you, and I don't know why some of you expect Charlotte to behave like a slow southern market, but that version of the city doesn't really exist anymore. And honestly, I don't know when it ever did. Demand within Charlotte proper is still really strong. Homes that are priced reasonably continue to attract attention even with the higher interest rates. The common wish list, space, school, yard, price, it's shared by a lot of buyers, which naturally creates competition. Things are no longer chaotic like they were in 2021, but easy wouldn't be an accurate description either. And the next one tends to surprise people the most. Number 4, it's easy to make friends here. Not really. There's this weird expectation of instant connection, friendly neighbors, quick community, and that's not how Charlotte feels for many people now. The city has become highly transient. People move here for work, and then they move again. Charlotte often shows up on lists of places where adults struggle to build friendships, and when you live here, it kind of makes sense. Community takes intention. It doesn't happen automatically. If you're not actively engaging in groups, routines, repeated interactions, it can feel really isolating. People are polite, but they're also busy. Everybody's the main character of their own life. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, but let's just keep in mind that people around you aren't a bunch of extras. A little friendliness can go a long way. Let me hit you guys with a story time. So I was driving down this very rural road and I ended up with a flat tire. So I pulled into this huge warehouse looking building where I heard the sound of machines and people kind of working in the distance. So I'm over here struggling, trying to turn it so I can even get my tire off of the wheel so I can change it onto my spare. And this older gentleman who's riding on some sort of tractor, he sees me and he asks me if I need help. And I'm like, of course I do. Please help me. So he kindly changes my tire and then he has me drive over to another area because, of course, my spare tire was kind of flat. And he was like, well, you can't drive on another flat tire. So They actually had an air pump, they filled it up with air, and then they sent me on my way to hopefully either make it to my house or a repair shop. Kindness still exists, those experiences can still happen, but it's more common outside of the city than within it. Which is going to bring us to another expectation that doesn't really line up anymore. Number 5, most homes don't have HOAs, and that is very not true, my friends. If you're picturing open space and minimal rules or no rules, that's harder to find than people realize. In the past, finding a home without an HOA was not that difficult, but today, most of the properties inside of Charlotte are part of planned communities. Even homes with decent square footage are built close together. And yes, exterior details, landscaping, even mailboxes are often regulated. That's simply how newer development has been structured. But the shift goes beyond housing design. Number 6, Charlotte has classic Southern energy. Not anymore. Many people expect traditional Southern charm everywhere they go. Charlotte today reflects something different. A large portion of the population have moved here from somewhere else. And as prices increase, many longtime residents find themselves relocating to the surrounding areas. So the slower pace, the familiarity, and the deep-rooted local culture tends to exist further out now. Inside the city mix of backgrounds reshape how Charlotte feels. It's socially and culturally. And that's why so many newcomers ask where the sense of connection went. In many cases, it didn't just disappear, it just moved. And that leads me to the biggest misconception of all. Number 7, moving to Charlotte will automatically upgrade your life. Not always. So there's this weird belief that relocating here or anywhere will solve everything, that a new city equals better outcomes across the board. I really hate these kind of statements because while making a move can help you, a city doesn't create momentum on its own. Without you making active choices and choosing the direction, life often ends up feeling the same, just somewhere else. So while Charlotte does offer opportunity, especially in corporate and tech-adjacent industries, the idea that everyone is earning high salaries just isn't accurate. And at the same time, housing costs, taxes, fees continue to rise. And Charlotte can be a great place to live if the area, budget, and lifestyle actually align. And when they don't, those consequences are expensive and often long-term. One video can't capture everything, so before you make any decisions, watch my pros and cons video next. It's going to give you a clearer picture of what living here really feels like, the positives, the negatives, and the things that people don't usually mention. You can watch that video right here. And after that, if you want the fastest way to narrow down what Charlotte area actually fits your life, take the Best Neighborhood Quiz. It's quick, straightforward, and it helps prevent a costly mistake. I'm Inga Draper, your real estate bestie, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.